How to get Italy work and residence permit. Italy is a desirable place to live, work, and even set up a business because of its moderate temperature, great economy, modern and industrialized, acclaimed food, a relaxed way of life, and extensive history. When you understand how to go to and live in Italy and find employment there, it is a fantastic chance. Foreigners may find employment in Italy depending on their industry and preferred location. However, salaries are competitive and healthcare is reasonably priced. If you ask me, is it worth relocating to Italy? I decently answer yes. Residing in Italy as a person of a different nationality is quite rewarding. Prior to your journey, you should conduct some research, especially with regard to the visa you must obtain. So to know what are these visas and how to get them, stay tuned until the end of this video. Welcome back everybody, thank you for watching this video. If this is your first time visiting our channel, my name is Ahmed Reza and here at Permesso Global we help those who are in search of better opportunities to work, live or study abroad. In this video I'm going to share the most recent updates and details of Italy work and residence permits. What is an Italian work permit, different types of Italy work visas you need to get as a non-EU worker, requirements for these visas and procedures to apply for them. In short, there are 3 steps to take for having a job and living in Italy. Step 1 is to find an Italian employer. Step 2 is to apply for a work visa in an Italian embassy. And step 3 is to travel to Italy and begin your application for a residence permit. If this is your first time being here, subscribe to our channel, and for getting informed of new uploads, hit the notification bell. Immigrating to Italy has its advantages, including affordable to free healthcare and paid time off, wonderful temperatures year-round, access to breathtaking natural beauty, and delicious gelato. However, there are a few difficulties to take into account before boarding a plane. For Italy work visa, you can enter Italy legally and work there with the help of a residency permit for employment-related reasons. There are various licenses available that allow you to legally work in Italy. However, a different permit could also be changed into a work residency visa under special circumstances. This work permit in Italian is called Permesso. If you also activate subtitle in my video, you will see the original title of different permits or Permesso in Italian language too. So let's find out what are different types of Italy work permits. Non-EU nationals may legally enter and or operate in Italy with the following permits in accordance with Italian law. Permission to stay for independent work is for those who are self-employed and do not work for an organization. It is valid for up to 2 years. The next permit is permission to stay for subordinate work, which is for those who are employed by a firm. This type of work visa can only be obtained by the employer on behalf of the non-EU employee that wants a job in the Italian Republic. The company or employer is required to acquire clearance from the Immigration Department, Nulla Osta. The seasonal work permit is another type of work permit, which is an authorization that is easier to obtain. It is given to seasonal activity workers, usually in agriculture and tourism. Any Italian corporation based in any of these industries can hire foreign personnel using a seasonal employment visa. It is valid for 20 days to 3 months. The long-term permit, also called residence permit, is the opposite of the seasonal work permit. This document allows the beneficiary to stay in Italy for an indefinite period. The best thing about long-term permit is that if the beneficiary leaves Italy, he or she can easily re-enter without applying for a visa. And finally, permit to reside under different circumstances, such as while training or studying. You may work even if you have this kind of permit. If you are now in Italy and watching this video, in general, there are 8 conditions you can get a work permit or convert your current residence permit or visa into a work permit in Italy, that you can see all of them in our description section too. You can also find more information at the Italian Ministry of Interior's website with a link below this video. What are the requirements for Italy visas and work permits? As I mentioned earlier, you need to have a job lined up in Italy before applying for a work visa. This is because the majority of the visa application will be completed on your behalf by your employer. When applying for a work permit, these are the documents required by the Italian government to begin processing the Italian work permit for a non-EU citizen. These following documents are only needed from your employer: evidence of accommodation in Italy. It could also be a residence agreement, a fiscal document of the company hiring you, the company's certificate of incorporation, business profile of the inviting Italian company issued by the relevant Chamber of Commerce and Industry, personal details of the focal or contact person in Italy, copy of passport, telephone number, ID card, etc. Request form for NOC made by the employer to the Italian Unique Immigration Desk for the approval of a job for the applicant, and the employee's salary statement. But for you as an employee, the following documents are required in order to file for an Italian work visa or long stay D visa in an Italian embassy or consulate in your home country. You will have only 6 months to grab the visa and travel to Italy, only 6 months to attend your workplace when the application of work permit is approved by the Italian authorities, and you receive a duplicate of that from your employer. So to start with Italian embassy or consulate, the following documents are needed: a duplicate of the executed and signed employment contract, a duplicate of the initial notice of permission to work request. The employer requests a work permit at the Bureau of Immigration in their particular Italian province. The business employer or hiring company will then provide the employer with a copy of the work permit after it has been approved. You also need to submit a passport having at least 2 blank pages that it will still be valid for a minimum of 3 months after the expiration of the visa, or have a validity of at least 3 months after intended stay. Passport photographs, a filled out application for an Italian long stay visa or D visa in Italian embassy. You will print out the Italy visa application form, fill it out completely, gather all required paperwork, and deliver the application in person to the Italian embassy or consulate, or do this through partner companies like VFS, etc. And do a biometrics if required as well. A duplicate of a residence or rental agreement or evidence of accommodation provided by your employer in Italy. If you have been refused a visa by an embassy or high commission in the last 2 years, written LOE or explanation about reason for trip and refusal, diplomas and other attestation documents, copy of the last academic degree certificate, visa payment receipt, and bank statement or proof of sufficient financial means. You must be able to prove you have the financial resources required for admission to Italy. Keep in mind that this is not an exhaustive list of requirements. The requirements for an Italy work visa change depending on the country and a specific case. Therefore, you should always contact the appropriate authority where you are applying for a work visa for more information. The Italian authorities reserve the right to request any documents as they see fit. In addition, you have to send your employer in Italy whatever documents that they need in order to apply for your work permit. Because your employer applies for your work permit at their province's immigration office, and each immigration office has different requirements. You must contact your employer in regards to what documents they need from you. As I mentioned, you don't need to apply for a work permit. In most cases, your employer will do that for you in Italy by registering in immigration department in their city of residence. You only need to apply for a work visa or long stay or national D visa. Long stay visas are issued for stays exceeding 3 months. The main reasons for issuing this type of visa are study, work, or family reunion that I explained about family reunification in the last part of the video. When applying for this type of visa, you have to submit supporting documents that would validate your identity and prove your claim. Visa applications can also be submitted upon appointment to the VFS visa application centers located mainly in big cities in your home country. For which to know, you should check with Italian embassy website in your country to see if they partner any visa application processing, that in most cases they do so. A visa application center to which the Italian government has outsourced visa applications except from VFS Global are COX and Kings and TLS International. So check with the Italian embassy which one does visa processing in your home country. In my experience, visa applications cannot be lodged earlier than 3 months before the start of the intended journey. Therefore, duly completed applications may be submitted 3 months onward prior to the confirmed travel date. As applications peak during the months of April through July, it is advisable to apply well in advance. The time it takes to process an application at the embassy varies, but decisions on C visas are generally reached within 15 calendar days. Some cases might take longer due to special circumstances. However, processing times for D visas are on average longer, taking into account the very accurate and thorough examinations they are submitted to, and that can include a series of additional verifications and the high volume of requests. The cost of an Italian work visa is 116 euros. You need to pay this non-refundable fee before you can begin your application. All supporting documents must be legalized and translated by an Italian notary. Italian work visas are valid all through the contract duration. It is valid for a maximum of 2 years and can also be renewed and extended for up to 5 years. When you submit your application, you will also be asked to enter a visa interview. This interview lasts around 10 to 15 minutes and includes questions about your purpose of travel, how you will provide for yourself, where you will stay, and even personal questions about your life. Be sure to answer all questions truthfully and without hesitation. Also make sure you are friendly but not overly so, and have proper posture. Remember, making a good impression helps the fate of your Italy work visa. All Italian work visa holders once arrived in Italy must convert their visa into a residence permit, applying within 8 days from first entry or within 8 days of their arrival in Italy. Applications must be submitted to relevant police authorities or questura of the province of intended residence. Residence permit duration will be the same as indicated in the visa. And hopefully the residence permits can be renovated or extended directly in Italy. To know the relevant police authority according to your workplace, you can check their website in the description section of the video. So the documents needed to register for the residence permit includes 4 passport size photos, an active passport, 14.62 euros for electronic revenue stamp, documents pertaining to your stay in Italy like a working visa or proof of enrollment in training courses, all the paperwork you provided while you applied for an Italian long-term visa back home. Finally, evidence of insurance coverage from a business permitted to do business in Italy. Based on the contract of employment, a work visa for Italy may be active for a period of 2 years. However, it may be prolonged for a maximum of 5 years that could be led into an Italian permanent residency and later an EU blue card. Your family members can also get a family reunification visa and a family permit to also immigrate to Italy and enjoy the same rights as you have in Italy. Family reunification is a legal and safe way to bring your close family members to Italy. You can apply as soon as you obtain your residence permit from the police authority in your city of residence. The procedure for family reunification has 2 phases. The first phase happens at the immigration office. Then the second phase happens at the Italian embassy or consulate in the country where your family members reside. Eligible relative of a non-EU citizen regularly living in Italy may be entitled to a family permit. You can get the family permit either if you are in Italy or if you come from abroad through the family reunification procedure. If members of your family have joined you in Italy through family reunification, they are entitled to all the same rights as you are while in Italy. With this kind of permesso, they have the right to work in Italy but not in any other European countries, access the Italian healthcare system, SSN, access the Italian public education system, register with the registry office of your local commune, which gives you the right to get an ID card, open a bank account, travel to your home country and within the Schengen area for a maximum of 90 days if they have their national passport or travel document, as to bring their family to Italy through family reunification, apply for Italian citizenship and EU long-term permit. Thanks again for watching. I hope you find this video helpful on your immigration journey to Italy. Please don't miss out on watching other videos. There are other valuable and informative videos in our channel, all covering the immigration relocation study in the best European countries, as well as Canada, US, Australia, UK and New Zealand, and other great countries that are welcoming immigrants and job seekers to fill their labor shortages with the highest level of salaries and benefits. There's a famous quote. It says, "Don't be afraid to give up the good to go for the great." Until next video, have a good time. Over and out.